This is my man, the crazy man, Eazy-E in the house.
Hey, he's temporarily insane. Temporarily insane. So, Eazy, does this mean you won't be participating in the interview?
Yeah! He said he will in a minute, man. He's getting his head straight right now.
Okay.
I'm tired of you fake motherfucking TV and cameraman and you motherfucking magazine editors talking all that shit about
We rap about what's going on, what we like to do, and sex just happens to be a big part of what we're doing.
I like to fuck. I don't know about you guys. I like to fuck.
Eazy-E once said, "If you want to get your points across, you gotta cuss. The kids from the streets don't want preaching or messages." And this pretty much sums up Eazy's philosophy about rapping. Eazy-E simply wanted to keep it real. And this tells you why Eazy-E was so successful. I mean, there aren't many more influential figures in hip-hop. And what makes this even more interesting is that the world of hip-hop only had Eazy-E for less than 9 years. Unfortunately, that's how short Eazy's career as a rapper was. Eric Wright, aka Eazy-E, was born on the 7th of September 1964. And unlike most rappers, Eazy-E grew up with both his parents, and they loved and supported their little boy. His father, Richard Wright, worked as a postal officer, while his mother, Kathy, was a grade school administrator. However, you also know that Eazy-E was born and raised in Compton, and during this period, Compton was notorious for high crime rates and gang culture. So, despite the good family, Eazy couldn't avoid being influenced by his hood. By the age of 12, Eazy-E had already lost his virginity, and by the age of 13, Eazy had already jumped off the porch. He was already hanging out and hustling in the streets, and was involved with the Kelly Park Compton Crips. However, Eazy-E never actually joined the Crips. Even though he had a number of friends who were Crip members, he managed to never get fully pulled into their lifestyle and business practices. Because even at a very young age, Eazy-E already had a clear idea of what he wanted to do. Eazy always knew he wanted to make music, and he simply didn't see a future for himself in academics. Even while in high school, Eazy-E was already selling drugs. Because apart from making money through dealing dope, to survive in the neighborhood, everyone had to have a role. You either had to be a player, gangsta, athlete, thug, or dope man. And for Eazy-E, who was diminutive in size, selling weed also helped create a tough persona that reminded everyone in the hood not to fuck with him. Otherwise, Eazy could have ended up as the victim, the one being picked on. Alright, so Eazy already earned his street cred from a young age. You simply know this is not a man to mess with. Eazy-E dropped out of high school when he was in 10th grade. By now, Eazy was a full-time drug dealer. Eazy-E was quite good at his job, and he made a lot of money from it. He had a good eye for business, and by the age of 22, Eazy had already earned as much as $250,000 from selling weed. However, the incident that turned Eazy away from dealing dope was when his cousin was shot and killed. Eazy's cousin's death made him quit selling drugs. Instead, he decided to take the money he had earned from the dope game and put it into music. He started rapping in his parents' garage, but he also had plans to do bigger things with his music. Eazy lived in the same neighborhood with a young DJ known as Andre Young. But at this point, the two were basically strangers. Dre had already begun his career with the group World Class Wreckin' Crew. Eazy-E got to know of Dre when he discovered his mixtapes in a pile of records at a stall that he usually visited to get new music. After this, Eazy was persistent about working with Dre. However, even though Dre played at several Eazy-E parties, the duo still hadn't started working together just yet. That all changed when Dre needed someone to bail him out of jail. He reached out to Eazy, and he agreed to help his new friend. But he agreed to do it on one condition. Eazy-E said, "Sure, I'll post your bail, but you have to do something for me." After this, Eazy-E was eventually able to convince Dr. Dre to work with him and join Ruthless Records. Eazy-E also reached out to a man known as Jerry Heller and decided to partner with him. Heller was already a big name in the music industry. He had managed the likes of Marvin Gaye, Tina Turner, and Otis Redding. So, Heller was the right man for Eazy-E to work with. Eazy-E would get 80% of the company's income, while Heller would take 20%. So, Dre was going to produce, while Eazy-E was going to rap. Eazy also decided to add other rappers to the group. And this was when he signed Ice Cube to Ruthless Records. Now, Dre and Ice Cube had good chemistry in the studio. The duo wrote a song for a group that was signed to Ruthless Records, but the group turned it down. But Eazy-E decided to record the song as his own, and this was how the classic Boys in the Hood was birthed.
Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon.
Other members such as DJ Yella and MC Ren joined the group, and this was how NWA began. Now, NWA made it cool to be a gangsta. They had the ears of the streets and were the voice of the urban youth. NWA gave the streets stories they can identify with. They had songs that painted the reality of the hood. NWA didn't care if the stories were ugly or not fit for the radio. They just kept it real.
5 white guys walking together are friends. 5 black guys walking together is a gang. In the police eyes. You know what I'm saying? And they have you like this and head down and you be on the concrete.
However, the group didn't stay together for long. In December 1989, Ice Cube left the group because of royalty disputes. And 3 years later, Dr. Dre wanted to leave the group because of similar issues. But Eazy-E wasn't willing to release Dr. Dre from his contract. Dr. Dre involved Suge Knight to help him get out of the contract. Now, Suge allegedly met Eazy in the studio and threatened him with lead pipes and baseball bats. Suge reportedly also threatened Eazy's family and mother before he eventually agreed to let Dre go.
Now, how did that work out?
Basically, I had Dre signed as exclusive producer and exclusive artist. So when Dre tried to make his deal over at Interscope, you know, I was included for the next 6 years. So you can say all you want to say. Basically, you could diss me all you want, but I'm gonna get paid. Because that's why I say Dre Day is only Eazy's payday.
But Eazy wasn't scared of Suge Knight. After this encounter, Jerry Heller stated that Eazy-E wanted to kill Suge himself, but Heller stopped him. Ruthless Records was still successful after the departures of Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. And it was around this time that the world started to see the philanthropic part of Eazy-E. The godfather of gangsta rap became one of the first rappers to give out turkey to the public during Thanksgiving. Eazy also sent many kids from the hood to Disneyland, and he also had several donations. But unfortunately, on the 16th of March 1995, Eazy-E officially announced that he had been diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. Eazy-E released his statement to his fans after he was diagnosed with the illness. Now, I'm in the biggest fight of my life, and it ain't easy. But I want to say much love to those who have been down with me, and thanks for all your support. Just remember, it's your real time and your real life. Unfortunately, Eazy-E passed away 10 days after releasing this statement. He passed away on the 26th of March, 1995. Eazy was buried in a gold casket, and the outfit that it became his signature look. He was buried in his Compton hat, Pendleton shirt, and jeans. However, Eazy's death has also been shrouded in a lot of controversy. What surprises everyone is that none of Eazy's closest relatives have caught the same illness. Not his wife, his son, his daughter, or anyone else close to him. The conspiracies about Eazy-E's death became even louder after Suge Knight's comments in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel.
Technology is so high, right?
Right.
So if you shoot somebody, you go to jail forever. So the kids, you don't want to go to jail forever, right? So they got this new thing out there. People sell them all the time. They got this stuff they get blood from somebody with AIDS, and then they shoot you with it.
Oh,
so
well, that seems bad.
That's a slow death.
Yeah.
An easy thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, we can't deny that it's possible that everyone took Suge's comments out of context. However, these comments gained more attention after Frost, a rapper who was signed to Ruthless Records, said this about Eazy's death.
thing. I'm gonna tell you what happened with Eazy getting AIDS, and I believe this to this day. And I don't care if you guys got it on film. You could tell the world they gave him tainted needles with acupuncture needles that tainted him.
Frost also went on to state that a very controversial figure in hip-hop might be responsible for Eazy's death.
Someone, I won't say the name, but the devil's name, you'll know who I'm saying. I was told even in the last conversation from Eazy not to even talk to that man. And not only that, but I think that they really had a stronghold of giving him tainted needles with the AIDS virus in them through acupuncture.
Regardless, the circumstances surrounding Eazy's death will always be controversial and a mystery to everyone. But one thing we can all agree on is that Eazy-E will forever remain a legend, and the godfather of gangsta rap will never be forgotten.